Hey everybody, Rob here, and the blockbuster season is over, and I'm going to be reviewing the anticipated film Machete, co-written and co-directed by Robert Rodriguez. Machete is about a former Mexican cop working on a construction site and is hired to assassinate a senator up for re-election. But it turns out that he is being set up, and now he has to track down the people who did this to him, with a lot of people on his trail, including an old enemy and a U.S. immigration and customs agent. So this can get a bit crazy as well as violent. Now, for those of you that have seen our summer blockbuster video where me, Brendan, and Dave, we each picked a movie that we were all looking forward to, I think I picked the best choice. Brendan picked Iron Man 2, which I thought was a little bit disappointing, and Dave picked Robin Hood, which I thought was just alright. But Machete, I think I picked the best for the summer that I wanted to see the most. It's based on a fake trailer Robert Rodriguez did for Grindhouse, which I also reviewed. You can check that out. And the only way I can describe this film is that it's an action, satire, dark comedy, if you will. But when I left the theater, I realized that this film cannot be enjoyed by everyone. I mean, people will argue that the characters are stereotypical, the gore is over the top, it's very violent, people are on different political issues may feel that they are being targeted, and people may think that religious images are being desecrated in this film. But in a way, this film kind of reminded me of Blazing Saddles, where everyone gets made fun of, or every stereotype gets made fun of as well. This Machete, I definitely would say, is a cult film. I mean, it opens with those film specs, and the opening credits is like something you would see in a cheap 70s film. There's some 70s sexual innuendo dialogue, and it's definitely over the top, and I definitely think it's probably more for fans of 70s action films, or if you're a fan of Robert Rodriguez's other work in general. But one of my favorite parts about this film were the satires of political commercials. Whenever there's commercials up for elections, this film definitely, they're parodies, but at the same time they're satires, because they're definitely pointing out some of the things that in a lot of ads that people might see as issues with them. And I gotta say, this all-star cast picture, to me, nobody seemed to be trying to upstage or compete with each other. I mean, everyone gets a good moment in this film. It's not like The Poseidon Adventure or Pete's Dragon or Town and Country with Warren Beatty, where it's an all-star cast and everybody is trying to top each other, trying to stand out from the rest, and they end up looking worse than they did if they were making another film with a more, I wouldn't say lesser-known actors, but with a different supporting cast. The cast, for the most part, I think was excellent. Like the actor playing Machete, I'm probably going to mispronounce his name, I'm sorry, Danny Trejo. He was very good, and Robert Rodriguez as the senator up for re-election was also very good. I really enjoyed him the most because he seems to be having fun here, and I really enjoyed that very much. Let's see, Jessica Alba I thought was okay. I guess maybe this was a better vehicle for Lindsay Lohan than Labor Pains. Labor Pains I did a review for. That was the last movie she did, and I gave it a snuff it. And I said in that video that I want to see whether this movie would help her career or not. And I guess she was okay in it. I guess maybe it was. The film, maybe it's kind of stereotyping her image of how she's being portrayed in the media, perhaps, or making fun of it. Although, in a way, I kind of thought her character was a little bit underused. She comes in later in the film. I don't want to spoil it for anybody. I would have liked to have seen her character in her new costume, if you can call it that way, go even further. Machete is definitely a film that's not afraid to be edgy. I think it definitely deserves its R rating. It's it's not trying to be scared to do certain things. It definitely takes some risks. But hands down, I give Machete a big see it in theaters verdict. It's not for everyone, and but Brendan told me before I went in to see this movie is turn your brain off and enjoy. But I really didn't have to, because I did find the film entertaining. That there were some times I could look past a few things here and there. So I give Machete a see it in theaters verdict. So go ahead and leave your comments, and we'll see you next time on R&B Reviews, I hope.